Hello, this is Joseph Zodel. Absolute immunity. This video is prompted by some individuals claiming that some law enforcement have absolute immunity, including a prominent individual with a law degree. I would like to see his law school grades. What is suddenly being called absolute immunity is still conditional immunity. Police make an arrest and the person offers no resistance and he's treated brutally anyway. That is outside the scope of their duties and outside the scope of their legal power. The doctrine is that any force used must be appropriate to the situation. It's called the due force doctrine. Many jurisdictions have training programs in their law enforcement academies that run 6 months. A lot of training is needed to handle an important job properly. There is training in weapons, search procedure, and the law. This is within the scope of your duties and authority, for which the law protects you with conditional immunity, such as if someone is injured in the course of making an arrest as you used appropriate force to overcome resistance. If you injure someone not resisting because you lost your temper, this is outside the scope, so don't do it. Even if a situation is one that could be covered by conditional immunity, that can still be pierced if bad faith can be shown. If a person with conditional immunity is consistently injuring people of a particular religion, race, ethnicity, and a pattern can be seen, then it appears to be prejudicial and can show bad faith. In Nazi Germany, Hitler had a law passed to protect the Gestapo. By that point, all political parties were illegal except for the Nazi Party, so no problem getting his legislation through. The law provided that the courts had no authority over the Gestapo. So, if you were picked up and sent to a death camp, although you had broken no law, you could not demand a hearing. A court could not issue a restraining order. Your family could not file criminal charges against the Gestapo or any agent of the Gestapo, nor could they file a lawsuit for wrongful death. So is that absolute immunity? No, because they still would have to answer up the chain of command, and ultimately to Hitler if they did something Hitler didn't like. So they had tremendous immunity, but it was still conditional, even for the Gestapo. Did anyone in Nazi Germany have absolute authority? Of course, Adolf Hitler. He was the absolute ruler, could not be voted out, could not be impeached, removed from office, and we know how that turned out. Absolute authority, absolute immunity led to a desire for more power. Hitler wasn't content with absolute authority over Germany. He wanted absolute authority over Europe and beyond. Absolute authority, absolute immunity leads to corruption where questions can't be asked and investigations can't be performed. It leads to a strange version of law and order. Hitler made up the laws and everybody else followed orders, or else. So while some people have stated that some law enforcement officers have absolute immunity, it is still conditional immunity, and that immunity can collapse if bad faith can be proven. If you found this video interesting and informative, please give us a like and subscribe and click the notifications bell so you don't miss out on the future videos we'll have coming up. Here are some additional videos on our channel that I hope you'll find valuable. Additional resources are in the description below. Thank you for joining me today.